Hey everybody, it's Thelma with Keeping Up with the Frugal Life. So I want to talk about what you guys plan to do with your tax refund. I know that around this time, it's very exciting to get your refund because you get money back. Some people don't get money back, or some people owe. However, a majority of the people will get a tax refund. So I have always been that person that when I get my taxes, I've always been a frugal person, so it just kind of stays in my bank account or goes into savings, or goes towards, a vacation if I plan a vacation. However, I had a car payment a few years ago, and I don't know why I had a car payment. If every month I had, all this money that I could have been putting towards my vehicle to help pay it off quicker. But I just didn't think about that stuff. I didn't think about what I think about now. I didn't think about, the debt, and it was just a car payment and I could afford it. So why not just make a car payment? Why would I pay it in full and waste all this money that I have in my savings? That doesn't make any sense, right? That was sarcasm. It does make sense. So I quickly learned that I should have paid it off a while ago because, of course you're paying interest. And although mine was just 1.7% interest, it wasn't too much, but it was still money that I was given to the bank. And not only that, the bank owned my vehicle and I didn't like that idea. So one day I'm telling me how she had all this debt, and she started listening to Dave Ramsey and she's paid off all this debt. And I didn't know who he was at the time, but I told her I was going to look him up and kind of just listen to his podcast because he had podcasts. And I listened to his podcast and I just got hooked. And although I wasn't, the only debt that I had was my vehicle, and of course we have our home. That's the only debt that we have. No credit card debt, no other vehicles. That was just, the only vehicle the vehicle I had was the only one that we were paying car payment on. So I listen to Chris Hogan, which is part of Dave Ramsey's, or one of his personalities. Chris Hogan does Retire to Inspire, and he had a segment about taxes, and he said that most people view taxes as a bonus. So a bonus to them, like I mentioned, is to go shopping or buy a new vehicle or, go on vacation. He said, you should see your taxes as an opportunity. And I loved that. And I kept repeating that in my head. Taxes, not a bonus, an opportunity. And he kind of made me kind of change my perspective of tax refunds. And I was so thankful for hearing that segment. And so I had already gotten my taxes and it was just sitting in my bank account because, again, although I could have paid off my car probably several years ago I'd always pay more on my car payment, but I really could have saved instead of just spending money. I could have saved and had my car paid off before, but to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. No one told me like, hey, you should be paying your debt off. And I think that's something important for parents to stress to their children. Growing up, my mom never talked to us about debt. So to me, it was just normal. We're normal. We think debt is normal. And so with the tax refund that I purchased, that I received, I use that as an opportunity to get out of debt, to pay off my only, besides house, to pay off my only debt that I had, which was my vehicle. And I had gotten $3,600 back for my tax refund. And so what I did is I used all of that to pay off my car payment. I had about 3,300 left to pay off. And so I remember the day I called, I think it was during one of my lunch breaks actually, and I called my bank and I told them I want to pay off my car. So we go through everything, the money was in the bank, very, very easy. And it was just about a 5-minute phone call. And the gentleman I was speaking to, he said, congratulations, you are now, the owner of your vehicle. And you paid it off. We're going to send you your title. And I remember hanging up feeling so good about myself. I felt like a whole new person. I felt like, even though it was a small amount in my only debt, I felt like it was a life changing experiment or experience. And I was just so thankful for Chris Hogan at that time, because I would have just hoarded that money, or I would have just done what the average person does, just splurge it on something and not remembered where that money went. So I paid off my car. The next month comes, I didn't have a car payment, and it was only about $250, but still that was $250 a month that I just was able to keep, because I used my tax refund as an opportunity, to make my future better by having more, so I can, like Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else. And it kind of changed my perspective, because, like Dave Ramsey says, don't keep up with the Jonases. And I did have vehicles, prior to the one that I paid off, that I've always paid off, but it was always like my last car payment, and I would be excited, like, oh yeah, it's my last car payment, I paid that off, but I would immediately go buy another vehicle. And the previous okay guys, sorry about that. My son woke up and I had to go get him out of his crib from his nap. So anyways, so what I want you guys to do is set yourself a goal. If you have not received your tax refund yet, think about what opportunity you have to pay off debt. So go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know what your plan is, or if you have paid off debt with your taxes. I'm just kind of interested to hear what it is that people use their tax refund for, as far as paying off debt. So again, I just shared mine. I paid off, the remaining balance of my vehicle several years ago. And so now, to me, I finally can use my taxes as, a bonus if I need to. We can put it towards the house, or I can also put it towards a vacation, or put it into my car fund that we have for our savings towards a new vehicle. So that's something that we are hoping to have by the end of the year, is our savings fund to purchase a vehicle in cash, because we are outgrowing my small little SUV. We do have two vehicles, but we mainly use my SUV kind of during the week and for family outings. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, find it useful, and I hope that you guys use this opportunity to try to live debt free. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.